Gazlowi's treasure chest. It's heavy and jingles. What? Does it have, does it have its own theme tune? Its own little jingle? Regardless. Ooh, here's some good news. I can do the Resident Evil games. I checked with Capcom, and they have a few little restrictions, but I can do them. Just basically, I can't be too cunty to Capcom or people during their videos. Which sounds fair enough. But yeah, they have no problem with Let's Plays. So, that's good. Which means me buying the first episode of Resident Evil Revelations 2 wasn't a waste. It was on sale. It was like less than €1.
Keep it quick, kid. I ain't got all day.
I'm going to close my eyes to a car. When I open them, I expect to see wall-to-wall treasure. Deal? Nice work, Durcar. Oh, the Baron tried to stop you, did he? Well, I hope you gave him a pounding. I'm sure there's fanfic of that out there. Baron, orc on Baron, fan art. If there isn't, when I close my eyes, I better see wall-to-wall, porn of that. Now I promised you a cut of the goods you recovered. Let's see. What's 1% of a 0.5%? Here you go. So I can either get the bling cane, which is a very nice blue item, or the Herberk. I don't know it. The Burk of Fortune. We'll go with this. It's better. Here's a thing for you. Burk. It's a surname, but it's also slang for cunt. Apparently, from what I vaguely remember. Enjoy your cut of the loot, Durcar. I hate to share, but business is business. And the Double Deer Nozzle Pot is guaranteed a 10% cut of this treasure. Can you deliver this to him at his outpost in the north? He's got a little research station upstream along the river. If you travel just northeast of town, here, north in the Hornblower, can give you a free ride on one of his riverboats. Tell him I sent you. And even though I didn't take the bling cane, it's still logged in my appearances collection. I won't be heading quite up there yet, up to Nozzlepot's outpost. I want to finish over here first. Also, he's called Grimble.
Keep it real.
Wasn't there a guy in a thing called Gimbal? You look like you might be needing passage across the Great Sea. Here you've come to the right place. Well, you've come to the right place. Here is the birth of the Maiden's Fancy, finest passenger ship to travel these waters. When she arrives, just climb aboard, and next thing you know, you'll find yourselves basking on the sandy beaches of Stranglethorn.
Keep it real.
Swim. So let's have a look at this. Storm Strike next level. Energizes your weapon's weight to lightning and delivers a massive blow to your target, dealing a total of 69 physical damage. Cleanse Spirit removes all curse effects from a friendly target. Get Wind Fury, that gives a chance of 2 extra physical attacks. I get the Res. Crash Lightning. Ooh. Electrocutes all enemies in front of you, dealing 83 nature damage. Hitting 2 or more enemies enhances your weapons for 10 seconds, causing Storm Strike and Lava Lash to also deal 83 nature damage to all targets in front of you. So, Storm Strike is the ability I'm getting next level, which will be hitting in just a mo. And Lava Lash is that. So that's nice. You know, my mind drifted back to a thing for a second. I was talking about it. I don't think I talked about it in this set. In this series. I know I talked about it in my StarCraft Odyssey series. But I'll talk about it here, because why not? There is a new series, and I also talked about it on Twitter. There's a new series coming out. It's, I think it's out already. But it's based off the Neil Gaiman's novel, Also, Raging River Ride is the name of the quest. Bag of semi-precious stones. The operative word being semi, these look like rocks. It's called American Gods. It's based on Neil Gaiman's book, American Gods. But the show apparently differs quite greatly from the books, at least when it comes to one character. Again, I'm only going from what I've heard. Apparently, in the books, the guy was actually one of the nicer characters. He was a trickster god, but he was benevolent. He mainly cared about getting laid. He had a thing for the ladies. But like I said, he was ultimately benevolent. He was ultimately a nice guy. In the show, he gets onto a slaver ship. And tells the slaves that even in 100 years' time, things are still going to be terrible for them. After 100 years after they've been freed, things are going to be terrible. And he manages to convince the slaves to commit suicide to him, as a sacrifice to his honor, kind of thing. Even though that's completely against his character. Apparently, from what I'm hearing in the books, he didn't give two shit. He didn't really seem to care. He didn't seem to care if he was worshipped. Like I said, the only thing people said he cared about was getting laid. Maybe he presumably cares more about, more things than just getting laid, but certainly that was seemingly higher on the priority list than worship. So him, convincing people to kill themselves in his honor goes against his character in two very different ways. Like, I can't remember the friend's actual phrasing of it. I talked about a friend, he read the book. He was like one of the few not murderous people in this series. Everyone else, like most other people, do go around killing a ton. He doesn't. So it's going against his character there, and in him not caring too much about worship. Also, apparently they're trying to bring in Trump and Hillary in some way. A friend was saying that might make sense, considering how important politics is. Like, the base of the series is basically how the modern world is changing gods, and politics is really important, so it's almost, worshipped in its own right, or, well, maybe not worshipped in its own right, but it's also having its own effect and whatnot. So it makes sense to bring that up, considering, modern thing. I can't remember where I was going with that. Can't remember at all. But yeah, that was one of the other things people were complaining about, because they, when the book was wrote, Hillary and Trump wasn't a thing. Well, they weren't running for president. So people were complaining that the authors of the show were, getting too caught up in their own politics and trying to bring it into the show itself. Whether or not that's an accurate assessment, I will leave up to you. One thing I was saying about it in my StarCraft Odyssey playthrough was that from what I've been hearing of the differences between the series, I'll be quite miffed. Like, I can understand. I can understand that apparently, some things work in certain medias that don't work in others. I get that. I understand that. Also, these do give breath, but I'm not sure to what level. They might be just too normal. Too friendly. But anyway, I understand certain things don't work in certain medias. But I don't think that applies in the way, what's happened there. I think that's a bit of a different kettle of fish. So what I'm thinking is, I can understand basically things being changed for that reason. Things only work in certain medias. Yeah, I can understand that, but the way they changed it, basically going completely against the character and all that, that would really annoy me if I was, the author of the series, if I was Neil Gaiman. That would really miff me off. In fact, when I was saying about it in StarCraft Odyssey, I was thinking, I'm a wannabe writer. I have an idea for a story, and I'm working on it bit by bit. Maybe one day I'll actually have something out. And if someone wanted to do an adaptation of my work, and they change it so dramatically, maybe I'm being a bit overboard here, but I would want to sue them for it. Because when I would say, yes, you can do an adaptation of my work, I meant to do an adaptation of my work, not to make a, TV show of your fanfic of my work and use my name on it. Like, I'm not, I signed for an adaptation, not for you to use my name to publicize your fanfic. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh or whatever, but that's just how I would feel on the matter. Like, I as much as them changing the thing between medias would annoy me, because I'm stick with the thing that's there. Like, that would be my preferred thing. I can say fair enough. Apparently, different things don't work in different media. What they did isn't one of those things. They're just changing it because they want to change it. For no, as far as I know, no good reason. So I'll just get miffed about that. Very, very miffed. Like I said, maybe I'm being a little too touchy about it, but like I said, I'm not really a fan of people. Like if I was a creator, I wouldn't be a fan of people warping and twisting my work because for any reason really. I wouldn't be a fan of them doing that. So yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting to make a point. Is there a book in here for me to read, actually? That's an interesting thing. Weird. But, no, it doesn't seem so. But, basically, I'll reiterate, and I'll leave it at that then. Like, I want to be a writer, and I would have no problem with people making an adaptation of my work, as long as they stayed true to the source material. What I would have an issue with is if they start changing and warping characters for no damn good reason. Like, I can understand, certain things don't work in certain media. Like, it may be a bit awkward to have, like, a character voicing their thoughts. Might be a bit awkward for that, or whatever. You change the thing to suit the media. That might have been the best example, but I'm sure you get my point. I have no problem with them doing that, but them warping how characters are for whatever reason, I wouldn't be a fan of. I have enough issue with them changing it based on media. Never mind because they wanted to work their fanfic into it. So I would take major issue with that, because I would want the adaptation to be as true as possible, not to be as true as possible to their fanfic of my work. So maybe I'm being a bit unfair. Maybe I'm sorry, something fell downstairs. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair. Maybe I'm being whatever. But that's how I feel on the matter. Like, I have no problem with making adaptation changes, but them making grievous, horrendous changes seems to be going beyond making an adaptation. Basically just taking someone's name, slapping it on their story, and just using their name to profit off it. To, attract attention to it. Again, maybe I'm being unfair, maybe I'm being overly touchy. But that's just how I feel. That's my current perspective on the matter. So, yeah. If you want me to reiterate, if you want me to try and clarify it in text or rephrase it in text, feel free to ask me. I have no problem doing so. If I'm just always concerned and paranoid I'm not making sense. It's one issue with trying to commentate on a Let's Play that you aren't streaming, or just full stop. You aren't having a direct conversation with a person. You're talking to your monitor. I'm staring at that right now. And I can't see you going, I don't get what you mean. I see it this way. I'm not getting any of that. I'm just getting dead air beyond, whatever miscellaneous thing fell downstairs. you know, that's all I'm getting. So, yeah, basically, it just makes me, I end up feeling awkward, and then I feel I haven't properly explained it. But that's just me and my nerves. So, but yeah, basically, yeah, long story short, if someone's doing an adaptation of my story, I'd want them to stick to it. If they start, you know, changing and warping how characters behave and are, so they act completely out of character, I'll get fucking pissed over that. It's hard enough for me to accept that they change for different media stuff, because I'm, you know, very obsessive. Them changing because, well, I, you know, in my eyes, this character is this way, so I'm going to change the official adaptation. That would just piss me off. Ugh. Hey, man, did Dizzywig send you? Good. Did you bring the money? No? What about the guns? What? Leave it to Dizzywig to expect a mutiny on the cheap. No matter, man. We can make this work. First, we need the money. Captain Garvey likes to hoard the loot we've been earning. There's a comma there hidden. Okay. Money I can use to pay off my hand-picked mutineers. The treasure pile is just outside the barracks here. You need to first take care of Captain Garvey's treasurer first. Now, Glomp ain't no pushover. Believe me. I tried pushing him over once. He don't budge for nothing. Okay. I now have the quest to learn to ride. I can go get my first mount. I've also Storm Strike, which is moving up here. Which is just basically a really powerful attack. 637 physical damage. I can also go to Black Phantom Deeps and the Stockade.
Spirits be with ya, man.
Okay, and I'm also having a
What you want?
wicked case of lag. Beware his low center of gravity.
Stay away from
Making me think of Dwarf Fortress there. In Dwarf Fortress you keep hearing like, beware his such and such. Beware whatever. And, or, you know, beware his deadly breath. That kind of thing. And it just made me think of that. Nice. Actually, move you there. There. Brilliant. Oh, we grabbed his booty. The illest of ill gains.
Talk to me.
You got the cash? That money will go a long way to winning over the hearts and minds of heartless and thoughtless cutthroats. Look at that, we're loaded. In mutiny, you gotta make the money first, then when you get the money, you get the power. Let's go get some power, Durcar. Now, any good mutiny is going to need some serious firepower. Captain Garvey claimed all the best firearms for himself. A whole shipment of big, heavy dwarven flintlocks. Keeps them at his side in the other building across the island. Grab me 6 of those rifles and distribute them to me future officers.
Later.
Hopefully they aren't these guys. Or this guy. Okay, now I don't need to kill any more. Though I'm inevitably gonna have to. I don't know why it's just lagging like fuck. I really hate my internet connection. Really, it's because this room is a dead zone apparently. I'm wondering, is the reason my internet lagging here because of what fell? I'm thinking that it could be. Okay, a pirate just randomly said yar. Okay. Yar, me hearties. Yo ho ho, and a bucket of piss. I kinda gave up halfway through there, but oh well, c'est la vie.